back to where I was saying. This is a yoga mat, or yoga area, tea room. Man, that's a Murphy bed I built. It works. It's kind of a mess. I am not a carpenter. I just grab some of this chicken food, or cat food. Grab my coffee, go back out here. Oh, plants are just loving this. Back over here. Walk over to the pond. The fish are all like, "What's going on, dude?" So I got this just a handful of cat food. It's the same protein, crude protein percentage as fish food, and it's about 1,000% cheaper. So you got fish and you're not like gonna show them off or anything, and you want to feed them. That's a way to make sure you're not worrying about spending too much money. And pretty soon I don't have to feed them. We'll get the mosquitoes that will come in here and start trying to lay eggs, and they'll be completely self-sustainable for the rest of the year. But I kind of like feeding them because they come up to the surface and they do this neat stuff with the water. Let me zoom in for you guys. It's a big one. So we got these. These are my goldfish. We just bought those at Costco. They're like those 50-cent goldfish. And they just get bigger and bigger and bigger if the bowl is big, which the bowl is the pond today. And then Grant got, I don't know if we can see them, but there's these little tiny gray fish. They're mosquito fish. And even though I can't get them in the shot, I probably have 1,000 of them in this pond. And they are lethal to mosquitoes. I had mosquitoes really bad when I first put this pond in, and I got those fish, and they were never a problem after that. So this is kind of like the morning view of the backyard. This is what I was talking about, where I'm going to put that yoga pad. It's going to go suspend over the water. And I don't know if you remember over there, I built this like Japanese feng shui, I don't know what it is. Excuse me. It's very Asian inspired bench. It's going to go around this mesquite tree. Then I'm going to do a second tier above it, and it's going to hold a bunch of plants or glass mosaics for like trade. There's a fence I'm never going to finish. All banded iron and redwood stands. What I want to do is I want to complete the fence from over here. It goes all the way down, but the bottom part's going to be a gabion fence with rock and maybe some cool translucent glass. The barbecue, I'm going to be using that in about a week. I'm going to smoke a ham all night. Stormy showed me some TikTok and it looked really good. It's kind of like just like a pulled pork brisket or picnic roast, whatever the hell it's called, picnic. Well, instead of using that, you use an actual ham. You smoke it, break it down completely, all the tendons, Then you cook it with this other stuff, like in a bath. It's my pomegranate. Got one little blossom on it right now. It's pretty sweet. Another one's about to pop right there. Muddy. Here's my chicken coop from the other side. So this is actually a gate. See this? This slides by and it's the width of a wheelbarrow. So I can come in and out and clean the chicken coop, which is a total disaster right now. Our little bench fell over. I don't know what happened there. It's a wind or something, but check it out. So when I built this is a dumb dad joke. See how this coop has a door right there and a door right here. That's what a coop is. It's a 2-door. Alright, you can have that joke. It's free. Some cool plants growing. Got something I shouldn't be growing in the garden right now, but I don't care. That's called a morning glory. And it is absolutely stunning. Illegal plant. I'm one of them garden outlaws. We're not close to any cotton fields. And honestly, the way they grow cotton here in Phoenix is pretty controversial. It used to be a pretty good sustainable crop, and it was good for the economy. Now it's just gotten to the point where, in my opinion, it's not sustainable. You got by Sackatoon, you see all those cotton fields out there. It's kind of sad. So here's the setback of those squash I planted. They're loving the rain. Flowers are shut down again. The daisies are, I'll be like, they'll come out real quick. But I think those flax aren't going to come out until this afternoon. Those California poppies just might be done entirely. They don't take much abuse. This little bed I cleaned out. Volunteer palm that probably needs to be moved. There's some trees I planted on the drip line of the house. You told most people you planted a tree that goes to the house, they would absolutely lose their mind. But this right here is a moringa. It is a soft core tree. Literally, I could probably break that one. It's like 4-inch stock with my bare hands. They're not tough trees. They're almost like giant weeds. They put off a lot of shade, and you can use their pods and leaves in a lot of like Indian dishes. Here the leaves actually have more vitamin C than an orange. I don't know if that's true. But it tastes like horseradish. And right here is a mulberry. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull it over here and stake it in the ground right here. And it's going to be a giant rainbow. And we're going to train it that way. And I might let it go over one more time so we can pick all the berries. And it's under the drip line of the house, so I'll never have to water it, so it's going to always put out a lot of fruit. My tomato bed again. Place looks so much different after a rain. Absolutely love it. This artichoke. I don't know if you guys ever seen an artichoke blossom. If you haven't, I'm super excited I get to share that with you because I'm going to let these ones bloom. I might harvest these 2 big ones, but this second generation's right there, I'm going to let bloom. And they are the most stunning thistle. That's what it is. An artichoke is a giant thistle. Blooms. You might remember those as like especially out west, they have these, I guess they call them non-native, or some people call them exotic species. They came in, it's called a bull thistle, and they're those silvery plants that blossom giant fuzzy purple buds on top. Looks like kind of like a thorn thistle. But these ones, those purple artichokes will not disappoint when they bloom. Got some more poppies. Just lots of wildflowers. Super excited about them this year. Really, I'll just let the yard do its own thing, but with just a little bit of help, I'm at that point kind of in my life philosophy that I'm not going to make things bend to my will anymore. I need to be a little bit more fluid. It's going to help with a lot of stress management. I'm really excited about this bed. All this extra straw I put down, this is going to turn into a bog, and it's exactly what these plants need. I am kind of concerned. I put these in plastic pots in the ground, so I don't know if the roots need to spread very far in the squash. I'm going to find out. As those plants stun out after about a foot, I'll know that planting technique doesn't really exist for a reason. Some more of this beautiful lantana, just glowing up right now. If I can just took a giant hit of acid, all these giant blossoms, which I haven't. Not today. There's that snail vine. Just, it almost looks like an orchid. The blossom, at least. And they might be related to orchids, now that I think about it. Vines are, and this might be old terminology, and I don't know. Old talk that might not be socially or scientifically observed anymore, but vines are parasitic. They're a symbiote. They have to have something to live on. For structure, it requires vertical growth. So, I mean, they'll form on rock faces and structures like this, artificial structures, but in the wild, their existence is predicated on climbing over other plants. Sometimes, well, it creates a neat, like, arms war between trees, mostly deciduous, and vines. Usually their lifespan is about 3 years. They live and they completely die. Some plants not, like wisteria grows like a vine, and those can live, I think, well over 80, 100 years. But this purple bower and that snail vine, this might be their last year. But the pups will regenerate in the same spot, so it'll look like the same plant. Not like, what is it? My petunia, loving this rain. Red and purple. That Hermie. I don't know. He's like, hey, what's going on back there? Tango, come on out. Come on, buddy. Come play in the rain. Come on, buddy. Yeah. All right, buddy. You gonna drink my coffee? Mm-hmm. About broccoli doing good. I don't know how to grow broccoli to where it's harvestable. That's gonna flower before it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I think you have to trim the leaves or something. I don't know. I read this guy's theory on there's no such thing as a green thumb, or maybe it's I forget. I read it from a book, and I'm pretty sure it was a cliff note from somebody else. She was a famous gardener, and she says there's no such thing as a green thumb. The lack of having one is just evident in your lack of research and knowledge of the plant you're trying to grow, which is pretty hard lesson that needs to be learned. I don't know. Understanding the plant, and there's this whole theory that every plant has its place. For an amateur gardener that is pretty much 100% self-taught, except from growing up from my parents who grew a pretty extensive vegetable garden, it's all trial and error for me. They're like, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, that plant you see there, here, I'll show you. See this flax? This is red flax, and it's one of my most favorite flowers. Even when it's closed up like this, when it's windy, it is just absolutely stunning. Well, I bought that seed pack probably 12 years in a row, and only got it to come up successfully like 4 years ago. So I've been planting that stuff for 10, because it's a bag of seeds. A bag of seeds is 90 cents for those flowers. Sometimes they'll come free. Now they grow everywhere in the yard. Got a little bit of mobile art here. It's little fairy. Looks like she's a stripper in this position. She's actually supposed to have like a dandelion, a dandelion, and the picture sits sideways, and it's like she's riding the wind. But this way, she's straight up working for dollar bills, yo. Good for her. She's clearly Canadian. This is total junk, but I think junk is pretty. There's a cool little piece of work we bought. Stormy got, I think it was on Pinterest or something. Hopefully looks handmade. Hopefully it was ethically handmade. I don't know. There it is. Thanks. Happy Sunday, happy Easter, all that stuff. Grab someone close to you and give them a hug and tell them how much they mean to you. And I love you guys. Bye.